I'm Max Brantley with the Arkansas Times on Tuesday, April 7th. It's something of a slow news day, so we'll talk about a few bits of enterprise reporting and commentary on the Arkansas blog. First, you might take a look at our Arkansas blog this morning for the list of 49 legislators who are lucky enough to be chosen to live in very low-rent apartments in the Capitol Hill building, which is directly across the street from the state capitol. They pay from $320 to $370 a month. Utilities are included, parking's included, cable TV is included, Wi-Fi is included. And these are the same legislators that get $150 a day, tax-free, supposedly to offset their expenses of coming to Little Rock for the session. Their housing costs them about $18 a day. Pretty good deal. They also just got a pay raise of $39,000 a year. They also, despite an amendment that says they're not supposed to take gifts from lobbyists, are taking them hand and foot, or at least fistfuls of drinks and eats from lobbyists continued during the recent legislative session. So remember that the next time you read about the fact that they didn't give an income tax to the poorest working people in Arkansas. They did take care of themselves. Other things to read in the Arkansas Times. Ernest Dumas writes this week about the Supreme Court's foot dragging on the same-sex marriage case. He says it's shameful what they've done, and if Justice Rhonda Wood would recuse from the case, from hearing the underlying case, this case could be decided now, and administration of justice could be speedy as well as justice for all people. John Walker gave me yesterday a speech he'd written for delivery to the House of Representatives on the bill that was to ensure discrimination against gay people on religious pretexts. He didn't deliver the speech, he passed out written copies. It's a powerful statement on equality. It's a powerful statement on the Christian way to act, and speaking of religion. And finally, there's news today that a petition drive is underway to repeal Act 137. This was the bill that passed early in the legislative session that prevents local governments from passing civil rights ordinances that protect people on the grounds of sexual orientation. If they can get 51,000 signatures, it would be on the ballot in November 2016. In the meanwhile, the law couldn't take effect. In the meanwhile, several cities in Arkansas may pass non-discrimination ordinances. We could hope Little Rock would be one of them. So far, no action on that front. Other local news headlines: UALR has a new basketball coach, men's basketball coach. He's Chris Beard from Angelo State in Texas. Has had good luck at a Division II school. The governor signed yet another in what is about a half dozen bills aimed at restricting abortion in Arkansas. This one puts forward something that's been called medical quackery in other states, the notion that you can reverse a pill procedure by which a miscarriage can be induced early in pregnancy. Most doctors think this isn't so. It requires, ironically enough, an off-label use of another form of drug to supposedly stop the process. This same legislature passed a bill objected to by obstetricians that required only use of an outdated on-label use of a drug used in the chemical abortion procedure. So they want you to do it sometimes and not other times, which is sort of typical of this legislature. Good story out of Baxter County, or a sad story perhaps. A woman who won $200,000 in the state lottery last year was arrested this week in Baxter County for dealing methamphetamine. She did have $150,000 to bond herself out of jail, however. Two people have died in a fire in a home in North Little Rock early this morning. Josh Duggar, the eldest son of Jim Bob Duggar, the reality TV star, is making national headlines because he apparently hadn't paid his state taxes, piled up tax liens since 2009. Time to render unto Caesar, I think I wrote this morning. We've got a new entry in the presidential race. He's Libertarian Rand Paul. He promises to shake up Washington. The power went out in Washington, D.C. very shortly after he promised to take on the machinery of Washington, which may or may not be a good sign. I don't know. And I was interested to read a hot news break that Bill Clinton is said to be playing a behind-the-scenes role in his wife's planned run for the presidency in 2016. Gee, that would be a shocker, wouldn't it? And finally, you know, something that I don't think you want to have happen to you is to be named the oldest person in the world, because nothing good will come of it. I don't mean to laugh. Gertrude Weaver lived a long and full life. She was named the oldest person in the world last week at 116. Less than a week later, she died of pneumonia, but she does have a 93-year-old son. I'm Max Brantley. I'll be back tomorrow.